Good morning, you guys. After 10 years of saying I will be buying trash cans, I bought the wire trash cans. They unfortunately only had white ones and then 2 of the black ones. So I was really hoping for all black wire cans. You know, that's not how life works sometimes. It's okay. So now that I have all of these cans, my plan is to do a little bit of planting. I bought these ones here for bulbs. I picked all these up from the Dollar Tree. And because we're dealing with gophers, moles, voles, all of the problems in the garden, I thought it would be smart to do all of my bulbs in these wire cans this year because last year I lost quite a few to them. So I bought all of these that they had. I bought all of these square ones. And I don't need them to be very deep. With tulip bulbs, you don't need to go very deep. So I thought that this would be deep enough. I could put, probably like 6 in one of these wire baskets. And then at the end of the season, I can pull the entire wire basket out and not worry about it. And then I also picked up some of these wire trash cans. You will see some online retailers sell exactly these. They look exactly like this. And they will be much more expensive than $1.50 a piece. And so I don't know if they're bigger, but they seem extremely more expensive than $1.50 online, the ones that I've seen. And so I picked up all of the ones that my local Dollar Tree had. Yes, I bought out all of them. I'm sure they'll restock by the end of the week. And so picked up, these are the wire baskets, $1.50 each is what I paid for them. I picked up 16 of them. 2 of them are black, the rest of them are white. I'm going to see what spray paint I have, and if I can spray paint them black, the white, if it doesn't get fully buried or it doesn't get covered in mulch all the way and you see part of the white, it's gonna just kind of like stick out like a sore thumb in the garden, whereas the black ones will disappear in the garden and kind of be a little bit hidden with the mulch in the soil. You won't notice like something stark and white in the ground. So my plan is to get those painted today. And then because I do have 2 of them that are ready to go, I'm going to do a little bit of planting. I've been kind of holding off on doing a lot of planting just because I just didn't want everything to get destroyed in my garden. And I've got kind of an array of things that desperately do need to get planted. So let me see really quickly if in the shed I have any spray paint. And I have white. Sweet. Well, I only had white spray paint, but I also have this one called Chocolate Pretzel. It's actually a really, really beautiful color. I used it on a couple different projects. My thought is, you know what, this will work. It's like a brown color, which I actually might end up picking up like a dark brown color. I think that would disappear even better than black in the garden. So next time we go to town, Home Depot, Lowe's, whatever store we stop at, I will pick up a can. But for now, I am going to spray as many as I can with this. And I'm not going to spray the entire can. I'm just spraying just the top little bit of it, because that's all that really needs to be covered. And then I can plant all my perennials and all my annuals in those baskets. So next year, nothing gets eaten in my garden. Certain things that won't get planted are things like shrubs, things like grasses, which is kind of a bummer because we did lose grass to somebody. But it is what it is. But I think the wire baskets are going to be a great way to prevent these guys from eating a lot of my stuff, especially my tulip bulbs. And I cannot believe how expensive bulbs are this year. I bought a good amount of tulip bulbs and I bought some ranunculus bulbs. And I just was like really annoyed with how expensive they were. I don't know if you guys feel the same way. I remember last year being annoyed at how expensive everything was. And then this year I was like, are you kidding me? I just can't get over it. Some of the things I looked back at my order sheet from last year and some things were the same, but most everything the price had gone up on, which I get it. It's a new year. The price has to go up, but it is so frustrating because I feel like it went up a decent amount. Anyways, let's get these painted and then I can do a little bit of gardening today. Before we do a little bit of painting, I wanted to show you the Loco rose. If you remember, this rose had gotten attacked by somebody. There was nothing on the base of this rose. Like I was 100% certain that this thing was not going to survive, and it still may not survive. I mean, I can see that it is starting to turn brown down here, which is either a sign that the cane is dying or of rot, or it's just really getting to that age. Like, see how this is all green and lush. But what I am seeing is new growth coming out all over this. I'm hoping that it has a will to live and that it survives and that it's just turning brown here because it's just old age. But that's not looking great. See how that looks green when I scratched it right there? And then if you come down here where I just scratched it, that's not green. It's not really a great sign. It could just be using all of its energy that it has stored up in this cane right here and in these canes to try to get it to survive a little bit. So fingers crossed. I mean, it's a good sign that it is pushing growth, but that down there is not really the best sign. So like I said, fingers crossed that this thing survives for me. This is what kind of sparked the whole me going to be using cages because all of the roots were gone. This thing literally tipped over. So hopefully she survives for us. Well, the can ran out of spray paint, but I think that's gonna work perfectly because look, that's it up against the mulch. So I don't wanna say it completely disappears, but that really camouflages quite nicely. I'm so much happier with that than see how the white just kind of like glows. That'd be a little bit too much. So I did get 3 of these ones done, and even the black kind of still like stands out a little bit. So I think that the brown is way better. I will pick up a can of a darker brown color than the chocolate pretzel one. I did get all of the tulip ones done, or daffodil tulip bulbs for my bulbs. I'm gonna need to pick up a lot more than that though. So I will be picking up more and I'll be painting more as time goes on. And then I did not get all of those painted. I got some of them lightly painted. I did get, I think, like 2 or 3 more, like mostly done for the most part, in case I decide to plant more than 3 plants today. But yeah, I'm gonna have to start digging much larger and deeper holes for my plants. But what I like about it is that my plants can go in here. Most of the root ball will be protected, and then the roots can grow through the wire, no problem. And then like if something eats it, they'll eat some of the roots, but not enough to fully kill the plant, which is what needs to happen. So if it's gonna eat it, fine. I literally cannot stop them at this point, but that way I can at least keep things mostly safe. I'm gonna let those dry for probably the next 30 minutes because I feel like if I dig a hole and then I shove them in the hole, then they will scratch the paint off. So I'm gonna let those dry for about half hour and then we can get to planting. But let me show you guys what I would like to get planted today. Okay, so these are what I would like to get planted today. I've got 3 of them. I've already got some of them in my garden. They are really, really pretty. They are native to North America. So I am adding in a native, which is really exciting. It's always nice to add them in, but they also have really, really pretty blooms. I do think that these ones might have spider mites on them. So I am going to spray them just to be safe, because I am seeing like some speckling on here. So I don't know if it's dirt or spider mites. I'm just gonna spray it just to take care of it. If it is spider mites, get on top of it. They're so hard to see, you can't really tell until it's really a big problem. But this is new for next year. I've heard reports of some people being able to find them. So if you're able to find them, they're a great native. They have really, really pretty purple blooms to them. So this is Prairie Princess Ironweed Vernonia. It gets about 2.5 feet tall and about 3 feet wide. So it's kind of like a nice little low, I don't want to say shrub because it's not a shrub, it's a perennial. So it'll die back to the ground all the way. Hardy in zones 4 through 9. And it's supposed to be deer and rabbit resistant. And it's supposed to also attract bees and butterflies. And it's heat tolerant and drought tolerant. So I'm going to put these guys in the hottest sun that we have. But I like the foliar color. Even the foliar color has kind of like, I mean, I think it's the stems that have like a purple tint to them. If my camera will focus. Even the stems kind of have like a purple tint to them, and then the leaves are this like really fun strappy green. And then the blooms, you can see some of these ones are starting to come to life. They're very purple when they do bloom. I do have some of them in the garden. So I'm excited to add 3 more of these. These are from my pile that I've had for I don't even know how long. I've had them for a very, very long time. So they are ready. They're ready to get in the ground. So I plan to plant all 3 of them in this bed. And I'm thinking I'm gonna tuck them in this area right here. This is where the rose was at that got taken out. Yeah, I don't know why my spotlights are still on, by the way. We've been dealing with that issue. It's been kind of annoying. I don't know why they're still on. It should not be on. We're gonna redo all of our landscape lighting, hopefully at the beginning of next year. Maybe by the end of this year. We'll see. It's kind of an expensive project. I can't point because I have, wait, maybe I can. I have my one hand covering the lens, so sorry. My plan is to do 3 of them. And so I'll do 1, 2, 3 right in here and just kind of like create like a little swoop of them. And then I think that'll be kind of nice to have those in there. Nice little different color of foliar growth. It's going to be full sun right there. They should be very, very happy there as long as I put them in the basket, because right here is where Coco Loco is, which I actually, or was, I need to grab this plant tag and put it in with its pot. But I think if I get all 3 of them in there, that'll be really, really pretty. And as long as I put them in the wire basket, they should survive. So let me go grab my wire baskets, my shovels, and then I'm not going to go in with any fertilizer. I don't think that they need it. I don't know. Okay, I just looked it up and it says ironweed typically does not need a fertilizer as it thrives in various soil conditions, including poor ones, and it's generally low maintenance plant. However, if your soil is particularly poor or growth is sluggish, a light application will help it out. So I'm not going to be fertilizing those because we have pretty rich soil here and I don't think it needs it. So I'm just gonna grab these 3 baskets here. So I got my 3 baskets. I'm gonna grab my little shovel and my gloves, and then we'll get to planting on those. It should be relatively easy. I haven't had to dig a hole that's this big in a while, so that kind of is a bust. But my gloves. Forgot why I came in here. We're doing really great. Oh, my shovel. I need a shovel. As I said before, I don't know why you guys watch this show. So we're doing really great. Anywho, we will get these planted really quickly. Okay, let's go. perfect. We've got the 3 of them tucked in back here. They will get full sun. It's pretty early in the morning right now, so they're not getting any sun. But give it about 40 minutes and these will be in full sun. This is my hot bed. Full sun. I do struggle with growing things here, so these should do well because they are native and they are used to a lot of the sun. I'm gonna go grab some mulch and mulch that up. While I was digging for the front one, I did dig up some daffodil bulbs that I forgot that I had. So I just went ahead and I did replant the daffodil bulbs over this way. I tucked them in right here. No clue what color they are. I don't even remember having daffodils over there, for being completely honest. So, and if I did, I don't think they bloomed very well last year. Daffodils are an iffy one for me. They sometimes come back, sometimes they don't. There's the classic yellow ones. Those are the ones that come back pretty reliably for me. I don't love those ones. Or ones called early cheer. Those ones also come back for me really, really well. Without a doubt, those ones actually always come back for me. And they come back really, really well for me. Whereas all the other ones, like, they'll put up a lot of foliar growth. But then we'll get like bud blast, which is really weird because we don't get really cold here. So I don't know why we get bud blast. That usually happens if the buds form and then it gets like freezing. That doesn't really happen here. The early cheer ones are the ones that come back for me the best. So we'll see what comes from those. That'll be interesting, I guess. I'm gonna grab some mulch. We'll mulch that up. And then what I would like to do is hang up some curtains in the greenhouse today. Don't know how that's gonna happen. I have some curtains. We will see how I hang them up because I have no clue how I'm doing it. It's perfect. I can't wait for those to bloom, grow up. Once they start getting some sunlight, they should be happy. Like I said, I'm gonna treat them really quickly for spider mites. I'm just gonna do that off camera because I'm gonna do it at the very end of the day. There's already pollinators and things out. And what I'm using, I don't think it affects pollinators, but I just try to only spray at dawn or at dusk. And I prefer to spray at dusk. And it's a little late in the morning now, so I'd rather wait to spray. So we'll just do that off camera, but I'm gonna give those a quick dousing just to be sure that I don't have spider mites on them. And now for the greenhouse. I wanna get some curtains up. I don't exactly know how I'm gonna do this. I have some curtains. I ordered them originally for the gazebo. They're a little more white than I wanted them to be, which I think that'll be perfect for the greenhouse because the greenhouse is very white. But the issue is that I like to leave the doors open. And when I leave the doors open, because of the fountain right here, I usually have anywhere from like 3 to up to 10 birds in that fountain. And then sometimes they'll fly away. Well, they fly away because that's what birds do. They will fly and they fly into the actual greenhouse when the doors are open. We haven't had anybody really hit it. We've had a couple that have hit the greenhouse, which makes sense because the water is right next to it. But for the most part, they tend to fly in through the doors because the doors will be open and it kind of like gives them a pathway to fly through, and then they get stuck in there. And so I like the doors open. We've been trying to keep the doors shut. I mean, luckily, like the vents open and then the doors have vents on them also, so that opens. So there's plenty enough airflow. I just like how it looks when the doors are open. So I'm thinking that if I get some curtains to hang where the doors are, I could have the doors open and the curtains kind of like shut a little bit. And so that way airflow can still happen, but that will stop the birds from even wanting to come over this way. I also know that once we start getting shelves put in the greenhouse and once we start getting some like furniture and some taller things, that's also going to help deter them from flying this way. We just need to get a move on that. But I'm thinking that if I just open these doors open, let me show you. Yeah, because if I was a bird and I was right over there and I was trying to fly away and I was trying to get away, I would go straight through these doors to get out the other side. So I think if I get these curtains up, that will help. How the curtains are going to get hung beats me. So for the curtains, I have this metal rod And then I have these plastic clips. I think Brent's looking for some metal clips. And then this will just hold this metal rod in place. And the metal rod is gonna go up here. I will attach it to that screw, and then I'll put a screw in down below. And then it will sit up here. That way the curtain rod can sit across this bar here and then kind of cover all of this entire area. So that should work. And then I'll be able to pull the curtains back, and I'll be able to like attach them to like here. I'll get like a little curtain hook or something like that for the sides here. But I think that should work. Here's another ones that Brent found. They're 1/2 inch. It's gonna work perfect for this. I'm not going to paint them. I will paint them a later date. I don't want to paint them today. So this is just gonna get installed, and then I will take it down maybe next week or this winter time. Okay, curtains are up, and I do like having curtains there. I do think that these are a little bit too white. I originally had ordered these for over by the gazebo, which is perfect because they're still gonna let some light through, but we can sit over in the gazebo. I just think that they're a little too not sheer for the greenhouse. So I think I'm gonna reorder some, and I will order them for the greenhouse, but I am going to use these, and I have another set in a bag somewhere. I thought I left it in the greenhouse. I don't know where I put it. I'm going to use those for the gazebo, and they'll go on the back wall. So 4 of them for the back gazebo should be perfect. And then I can order something that's a little bit more sheer. Like you can see through it, but I want them to be sheer, just enough to like filter out some of the light and stop birds from flying into the greenhouse. I think that'll be kind of the best option. And I do think that eventually I will order some also to figure out for like, I'm gonna use curtains for shade cloth in the greenhouse for the roof. I'm gonna need it on the front of it. And then I also do need it for the panel that's over here because the sun comes in right here. I don't think I need it for the back because we don't really get too much sunlight coming in through there, but the sun sets like right here. So this is a lot of, actually, I think it sets right here this time of year. But for the most part, the sun just kind of like comes and then it like does this. So we don't really need anything for back there, but I could use some for the front side here and for this wall on that side. But I do like this. Look at the way, look at that. This takes me kind of back to my childhood at one of my grandparents' house. Their bedroom window, they had curtains like this, and the sun would hit, and she always had her windows open, and we had to take a nap when we were a child, which I hated, which I love now. But the curtains always moved, and the sunlight always hit it while you were trying to take a nap, but there was always a little bit of a breeze, and the curtains would blow. This is giving magical. I think it will be better with still kind of like white, but more sheer. Anyways, I think that is going to be it for this video. Nothing too crazy. Curtain up. Eventually I think I'm gonna also move the bird bath, the one that's right there, just to like also help with birds not flying into the greenhouse or anything like that. I do like this because then I can have it open, and then I don't think the birds will fly in through this. We're gonna keep an eye on it and see what happens. If that is the case, then I'm gonna order sheer ones, but when I want the doors open, I will just have it fully closed like this, and it'll still get lots of airflow in through here and be a little magical. So I think that that is going to be it for this video. Curtains are done. We got some of the ironweed planted, and I picked up my baskets and got those painted. Like I said, I got to pick up about 1 million more baskets for next year because I do want all of my annuals and I want all of the perennials, not all, most perennials, to go inside those wire baskets just to keep everything safe. Plus, all of my tulip bulb order, I think I ordered a couple hundred, are gonna go in baskets. So I gotta get enough baskets for that. Some things are gonna go in pots, but that'll be a story for a different day. Anyways, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Do you wanna see, I have sweet peas coming along. Remember how I just planted the high scent sweet peas? Look, how exciting is that? My first sweet pea of the season. That's why I like to soak them for 24 hours, because then they come up really, really quickly. So first one's up, and I think I can see, no, oh, yep, there's one emerging right there. I'll just cover that back up. Anyways, so exciting to see sweet peas coming along, and a weed in that one, don't need that. So this whole tray is nothing but sweet peas. Anyways, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I'm gonna go do a little online shopping, see what I can find. And I'm gonna run to Home Depot today and go get more spray paint. And then hopefully the Dollar Tree get more baskets. Anyways, thanks so much for hanging out with me. Thanks for visiting our garden. And I will see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.